Good morning, friends. Good morning. It's Tuesday. How are you doing? You guys, come in the room and sit at the table. Do you have time? Thank you so much for being here with me today. Hope you enjoyed. However you choose to observe and sit in the energy of the remembrance of MLK Day. Yesterday we chatted about the new moon. We channeled from the chart. I had a really nice day yesterday. Let me tell you something else though. I had weird freaking, are we past the 30-minute mark? Let's look. Anyway, I need to do better. You don't want to say curse words within the first 30 seconds because it affects people seeing your video, and I'm not monetized, and I don't really set the intention to be, but still I just try to be mindful of it. You know what I felt called to do though today? I was like, let's just pull how we did. I was telling you the other day, was it Friday? How I will lay cards out on the table in a certain way, but I do it a lot more for personal readings. I really enjoyed, get into that. That's my amethyst sphere. Maybe amethyst is resonating with you today. It's funny because it's about like mental peace, mental clarity. You know, you do like an amethyst lavender vibe when you're not sleeping well. Because I was going to say I had such a wonderful day yesterday. I really did. And then, I was getting mad about this earlier. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix it. I'm zooming in a little bit. It's just the part that tightens a certain part of my camera stand, y'all. She like droops to the side. And I'm always trying to get like the best angle. I know y'all don't want to look at my computer screen, but okay. Look, we're going to take that. I think that's great. But yeah, I had the weirdest dreams last night. And I mean, it's Aquarius season. So like the frequencies are out there, aren't they? They really are, and that's okay. They're very cosmic. It's very like a lot of energetic frequency liquidates and vibrates and moves and shifts in Aquarius season, so it's to be expected. But yeah, how are you guys doing? I just have a lot of, I'm not going to lie, I have a lot of schoolwork to do today. But yesterday it was one of those moments, and this happens to me sometimes. Let me sip my coffee, you guys. This happens to me sometimes. Is that, Spirit will just really come over me and my ancestors and team when I'm not being diligent about like my meditation routine, even if that is just putting sound frequencies. Maybe I'm sharing this with you because we're talking about sound frequencies. It is Aquarius season. We now have the sun along with two other, of course, Pluto been holding it down in Aquarius season, but we now have you know what? Let me not look at the chart yet because the energy will start coming in through the chart. And I just want to be present with you guys. Aren't we talking about embodied presence? Embodied presence is actually going to help us learn a lot about shifting into Aquarius energy. And this Aquarius is preparing us because we're going to shift in the summertime to have a North Node in Aquarius. And then that energy will carry out longer, right? So it's new paradigms. It's, you know what I'm hearing? A whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. It is. It's unconventional at best. It's unexpected. It's quirky. It's weird. It's great. It is the forerunner who is in the future already and is saying, everybody come over here. It's giving I'm already over here in the promised land. We passed those crossroads with Hecate. We're preparing to transition soon into a time where we'll work with probably more like Bridget. Of course, any archetype you connect with is beautiful, but we are still honoring this time. But yeah, I had this moment. So here's what I was going to tell you about because I have some channel downloads. Remember, I've been trying to discipline myself, you guys. And I think maybe this could be inspiration for someone who feels called to do the same. Um, get a journal. If you can't be at that journal, I mean, realistically, we can't. I have a little more access. If you work from home, I mean, we all have different scenarios. Work with what you can. Aquarius energy is creative and resourceful, likes to keep things simple. Type it in a notepad. Pull up your notepad while you're working at your computer and go, I can't do this right now, but I received this very clear download. Downloads of frequential messages are going to be so, I don't want to say big. It's bigger than big. It's like cosmic and galactic for real, because we've got this last of this Pisces. I dare to say, I think we have dissolved it all. Okay. And I even venture to say that now we're in that time of come with me and you'll see a world of your imagination. Dun, 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 dun. What is it? What you find will defy explanation. Na, 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 na. It's this vibe now. Do you feel it? Let the long-standing patterns go. I'm hearing, let my people go. Okay. So perhaps this is a message. You've been feeling a lot of synchronicity. You're kind of saying, oh, shoot, I think the sun will indeed come out tomorrow. Is that the sun? Right? I say that and I'm commenting about all these beautiful snowy pictures. I'm patient though, y'all. Because where I'm at in the Southeast, we really, our potentialities for a lot more cold come more like in this season going on through the rest of Aquarius season. So we'll see. Snow also makes me think about this same vibrational frequency of removing distractions. This is the big message. So let me tell you, we got to do the things we got to do to make a living. Point blank period, and whatever type of ways that you do that, right? And now the sun is shining more. Hold on, because I feel like the sun come out tomorrow. But it's like tomorrow is now, okay? So here's the energy. Have a journal. Write in that journal. You know how I'm always telling you about connect and align with your vision, okay? But when you are working with what the new moon, with all of that Capricorn energy of embodiment and knowing your roots and all these things we talked about, is shift into a new pattern. Are you writing? Write the things down. Maybe you do want to collect them in a folder. Maybe a drive works better for you. But yeah, so to segue in, I'm trying to write a lot of things down on my notepad, make sure they get transferred into that folder. Maybe you're doing the same. Maybe it looks like a Pinterest board, or again, like a drive folder, because, technology, by the way, it's not the bad guy. Spirit is calling me to just stop and say, and if you like to write, I do too. I do all my personal tarot readings. I like to write. I feel you on a pen on paper. There's an energy there that can't be substituted. And I agree with that. But I'm saying we're hitting a shift in a year of the wheel and a year of 10, 1, and 0. Okay, so what is it? What am I hearing? Why am I hearing this, you guys? I was born by the river. What is the line? In a little tent just like that river. Is it running or ever since? Oh, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come, right? Change, removal of distractions. There's a streamline of energy, right? So it's important to have sources to capture the energy and the frequency. What is it showing me? What is it telling me about myself, about my creative vision, about what I'm being called to share, teach, illuminate, the sun in Aquarius, right? So yeah, I was like, let's share the downloads with my soul tribe. And I appreciate everyone who shows up here to hang out. Whether it's 10 people, at times it's been hundreds of people. At times it's been 5. It's all good to me. It's more about the authenticity of what you receive from it, and not so much how many people are looking at it. Isn't that the way, indeed, like of so many things, right? So listen, I was sitting in the space and I was like studying and doing some stuff. And the way that it will happen with me, I have a lot of Aquarius placements. It will be like, woo, like a white noise moment. And I'll be like, oh, I need to go and clear my energy, or I need to go. I have things that I know I need to go to. Is it light language? Is it a sound frequency? Is it a certain meditation? Do I need to go outside and touch a tree? I know. And that's how it happens when you work with yourself, your intuition, your higher voice, spirit telling you or showing you something, right? So excuse me. I have this practice and I've done it for a long time, and it helped me on my path. Is that I know when I need to do a certain thing. And I was like, I need to put some sound frequency in my ears and clear myself, because I feel like I was trying to hear something. But it was like, like a white noise. So I knew the sound frequency immediately. I visually saw it in my head. It's one that I work with. And what I'll do is, look, you can really be peeping game and learning stuff from weird Aquarian people. Because we're going to show you something way up outside the box and outside the program, and it's going to help you. I remember even when I was at work, I would do this because I worked in a place where, like, for a long time, where I would sometimes there'd only be one or two people in the office for hours at a time. So I would go in a certain storage room and I would give myself like 10 minutes, because there was no light, there was no sound. I would pop my earbuds or whatever I had in and just vibe for a minute and reset, clear, and realign my energy. So last night I was like, I need the dark. So I went into the closet space and I was like, hey, the other people in your house, hey, I need like 15 minutes. And if this is a message for you about receiving a vision, receiving messages, maybe your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance is growing. And we all will be experiencing this in different ways. I absolutely guarantee that. So maybe you need to find something like that for yourself. I also remember, if this is helpful for other people, when I was still in the corporate world, I started my apprenticeship with my shamanic teacher when I was still in the corporate world. Ooh, child. That's crazy, because for me, that time, I didn't know it at the time, but now I understand that's when Neptune had just went into Pisces. So Spirit was like, knock, 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 right? So I would also, after I worked at the one place, I worked at a medical warehouse as well. So I didn't have the ability. I was around a lot of people all day. But there was a path, because we always going to find that less trodden path, so to speak, as the Aquarius collective. And we all have a house that has Aquarius energy in it in our chart. So you can embrace that anytime you want to. You don't have to be sun sign or whatever Aquarius to glean from this. You know what I'm saying? I would, there was like a break area. It was very pretty, nice trees and stuff, well maintained. But I saw that there was a path you could walk, and there was these sort of like a half of a field between like warehouses. Very nice, very untouched, very wild. I think occasionally we would even have we're in the Southeast, right? In the Blue Ridge Appalachian. So occasionally you might see deers go through there. But I would walk down that path, and I knew that I really couldn't have earbuds in because of the scenario, but I would just walk and get grounded. So you have to learn your own cues. This could also be a reinforcement of you creating a meaningful shift in your daily pattern, so that you can begin to reconnect with yourself. Freedom sometimes starts with doing something different in very small ways that helps. Like gifts and signs and illumination points come through, but sometimes we are being asked to kind of like adjust the frequency and be kind of unique and out of the box and thinking of how to do that. Okay. So I had that moment last night, and I sat back down, and it was just like, I knew that I needed to type down these downloads. So I kept thinking about how I kept hearing like, we need to focus. And then I kept hearing like, what is your primary focus? And then, spirit and my ancestors and, my voice of higher self is like, how can you focus this embodiment of this? I kept hearing streamline energy. Okay. And then I was writing down removal of distractions, because we can't, if we're constantly, even if we can create a 15-minute pocket, a 30-minute pocket, an hour of time, when we're connecting to our higher self and perhaps we're doing a process of listening and attuning, and then maybe we're writing, that's also a form of channeling. A lot of people do that years before they begin to channel spirit guides or connect with a powerful stream of intuition and start using divination tools or start receiving embodied energy inside of them, where they then develop healing gifts, or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Locking in and writing a whole book or painting this picture, and you're just like, whoa, where did this come from? You know what I'm talking about? I think there's going to be huge pockets like this for us as collectives in many different ways where we're going to be having these moments. Because I'll guarantee you, when we see a lot of things dissolving and timelines fighting, there's a whole theme of we've got to fight to stay relevant, and we will see that amplified in many ways, the shadow and the higher vibrational frequencies of that. But in these times, you will especially see huge visions, huge inspirational creative muses, brand new sense of purpose, brand new restored vitality. Your whole psyche will give you something. Remember, we were talking about supernal triangles and the 10 of Pentacles and something coming down into the Malkuth, the kingdom, the physical. These things are going to be happening. And I feel that Aquarius season is like a lead in to building us up. It is still partnering with the North Node in Pisces, but you get what I'm saying? It's preparing us to shift into where we will then also have a North Node in Aquarius later on. And then boom, Jupiter in Leo. It's time to express. You get what I'm saying? So this message is coming through to encourage us. I was writing down primary focus, focusing the embodied energy, removal of distractions, streamline of energy focus, a singular vision, a singular path. These are the things that I was writing. We must be able to eliminate multitasking as much as possible. Was so big from Spirit. Okay, and then I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, the little I versus my higher self guiding me through the streamline of frequencies. Okay, but sometimes that's impossible. and dead ass, Spirit was like, is it really though? Because if you're choosing, and then this message kind of came through, and it was like, we can do more than one thing, but we kind of want to intend to achieve this embodied state of energy while doing the thing and not doing all the things at once. Do you know what I'm saying? I definitely feel, because this is all about a streamline of energy that Spirit, your ancestors and team, your guides want you to embody. This could be, when you're thinking about vision work and boards and making goals of long-term sustainability in different places in your life, okay, I understand we're going to have more than one thing. We might have a health goal we're really focused on big. We might have a creative thing that we're really focused on birthing. But then we may still have a career or a job that we have to do as well. And it's not so much about saying, well, you got to ditch everything else. You got to get chaotic and obsessive. And I mean, sometimes you do when you're in an artistic or a channeled or creative mode, but get with me on what I'm saying. It's about achieving this, it's a mindful, embodied. It makes me think about how I follow some Buddhist teachers, and they do this podcast. They do this teaching session every Sunday. And I remember one time they were teaching on how when people come out, I can't remember what monastery it was, but it's nice. Neither here nor there. They teach humans about mindful embodiment of streams of energy. You know what I'm saying? I am doing this one thing, and I'm doing this one thing here right now. And maybe right now that looks like for you, well, I can only do that for 30 minutes. That's amazing. Maybe that looks like for you, well, I am not really disciplined in controlling my streams of thought and my energy. And I can see this is giving like contracts that Capricorn energy and the devil card, and learning about not only committing your energy to new long-term contracts of things that will become manifest, but also breaking old ones. You know what I'm saying? This also makes me think about how we have addictions, but they're not what we think they are. And so this energy will continue to liquidate. We'll continue walking through this frequency of passing through Pluto and Aquarius with all these different planets. And I think that it has this streamlining of energy effect for us, right? You have to commit to something in a long-term way for it to be successful or to be birthed in a tangible way. That requires discipline. That requires self-mastery. You know what I'm saying? Now, this could be discipline and self-mastery in a whole new paradigm shift of, what am I hearing, y'all? What movie is that from? When you build it, they will come. I don't know. That could be applicable in so many different ways. But do you understand how there's got to be hands on deck who understand that even while people are over here watching a building burn down, there are people whose sole purpose is to go over and put out. I'm seeing firemen going and putting out a fire. But the whole time is, these people up ahead of the curb knew that the building was going to burn down before it caught on fire, because they understood their intuition and their downloads, and they understand their soul purpose and calling. So not only were they over here making a new building, they had water, they had food. They knew that these people were going to come out of this burning building, and then they were going to go, oh my gosh, where are we going? Do you get the energy that I'm talking about? That really requires, in order to receive those levels of singular vision, of almost like, I dare say, prophetic levels of downloads. You know what I'm saying? It's a singular vision. It's a singular path. And now I'm thinking about MLK and people marching on a path. Hell, can you imagine the things, you guys, that would have been going on around them, and they would have had to, I'm thinking of the year of the fire horse and the chariot card, and how you have to put the blinders down, and it's got to be, I got to see what's up ahead, because I can't, if I stop, right, I need to be focused. And now I'm going back to that podcast from the monks who would take all the distractions out of people's day. And they would go to these monasteries and study. I'm talking about rich people who have had every experience and every dopamine drop and every instant satisfaction moment you could probably imagine. But then they go and they have these experiences with these monks who are so embodied in the consciousness of their self-awareness. And they are able to be such a pure, streamlined vessel right down into the concrete embodiment of the tangible, right? And they would teach people, like I remember she was teaching a lesson, this monk, and she was talking about washing dishes and being present on how does the dish feel in my hands, the water, thinking about the gratitude that you have water to be able to wash your dish, being fully embodied and present with your food, with your, whatever it is that you're doing, right? So again, the downloads coming in, I had primary focus of embodied energy, removal of distractions. Where are the distractions? Propaganda is a huge distraction. Social media, depending upon what you and how you have to engage with it and how well you cultivate it and monitor your time with it, that can be a distraction. And then you think about addictions. Even some people who have revamped their entire health journey, for instance, become addicted to the, I don't know, that's a good example, because sometimes you can become addicted, and we're thinking, right, we had a Capricorn stellium ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is teaching us about emotional maturity as we complete that whole era, right, which we already talked about. So sometimes you can also have these scenarios where there was a time that you were called to do something a lot every single day. But then sometimes you can become addicted to the same thing because you're not seeing that it's time for you to evolve into a new paradigm with something. That spirit, your ancestors, your team are trying to maybe transform the way that you bring your energy out of your body. So that's like, okay, maybe, for example, because this is relatable to me, I had a goal with my health, but sometimes you can take a goal and once it's complete and you need to release the release the attachment to it, you can find that you're still spiraling like, oh my gosh, I still have to run the miles and the miles and the miles. And I'm addicted to how the pain makes me feel like I'm achieving and I'm sweating. And this tells me that I'm good enough type of vibration. You know what I'm saying? But it's not really true. Well, it was never true to begin with. You were good enough already because you are. You're an embodiment of divine source, like in human form, right? You're already good enough. But the point is like, you became addicted to that feeling. You know what I mean? But then maybe you drove it so hard that you started hurting your body and you started getting injuries, and then spirit and your ancestors, even the embodiment of your energy inside you that you're not listening to because you're disconnected from, because something that was good for you maybe becomes something that helps you bypass reality. Another good example is like, for example, because it's all about balance and, you know, the law of polarity and the pendulum swinging, and we have to find the good midpoint. And we have to understand when it's time to let go of something. You know, another example could be maybe you're a very spiritual person and you enjoy engaging with like listening to messages or even meditation. It depends on how you do meditation and what you're doing it for. But sometimes, for example, you get to a point where you're like, I don't even go out and to engage in the actual ritual of living life anymore because I'm so addicted to the controlled feeling of I do this meditation and I da-da-da-da-da, or even a ritual in and of itself can become a hindrance. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's definitely messages coming through with this whole eliminating multitasking, but also like a singular vision. Streamlining your energy of focus, because then sometimes you have to say, okay, but what am I focusing on? A lot of times when we think of grieving and dissolving and mourning and letting go of old timelines, we tend to look at the things that we're comfortable with letting go of, but maybe we miss something that we're not supposed to be building anymore. Or a period of maybe I committed to something and I'm realizing because my whole paradigm is shifting, whoa, the whole time, okay, maybe that was a season and it taught me something or it healed something in me, or maybe this person or this connection. It's 10 a.m., which is 1000. It makes me think of 10 and 1 and 0. It makes me think of how I repetitively say the year of 10 is so much about completion as it is about new beginnings. As we dig into these downloads, I think this message is also more about, okay, now that we understand we need to streamline, we need to have embodied awareness. What am I doing? What am I saying? What am I teaching? What am I pouring my energy to, and why? Is this really what I want to manifest for myself? Right? Are these relationships really healthy? Okay. But what I'm saying though is sometimes we will find when we examine ourselves that maybe we're holding on to something and we're not really being honest with ourselves about it. You know what I mean? Like you ever hear about like people who are, I was a professional athlete, or I was a bodybuilder or whatever, and it just got to the point where I was addicted to the dopamine drop of this or that, or people validating me based on how I look. And you hear people will go through these big shifts, or again, the monks are a great example, because she would tell the story about these people, again, who have built, you think of Capricorn energy and that stellium of Capricorn and the goat and the summit and everything, right? But they perhaps have scaled many summits, and people would look outside and validate them and say, wow, how would you ever leave all those things in your life? And they're like, because none of it was really peaceful. And it's almost like getting trapped and chasing in a wheel. Okay, we're saying a wheel, right? But see the shadow of this, the wheel that never stops, right? So in order to really receive what it is that spirit, your ancestors, these timelines, these high level, ascended level, dharmic level frequencies that people are going to be called and to bring out to the collective when we desperately need them right now. Writers, teachers, speakers, artists, people who dance, people who sing new music. And not just those people, but people who figure out how to serve people in creative ways. And I mean, you could pick any. There's so many different callings and soul purposes and contracts, and you know what I'm saying? But it's something about being streamlined into a singular focus when you're doing that thing. Okay. But then there's also something as well about how does this make my body feel? Because maybe you've been streamlined and singular focused on a path and you turn around and you're like, oh, okay. Okay, I see what that was for. Okay, I see what that connection to that person was for. Okay. I see what learning and being in community with those people were for. And it's time to steer that boat, like we talked about, in a different direction. But none of that is going to happen if we don't make space. If we're constantly multitasking, if we're constantly trying to chase the next thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, it's almost like you miss your own authenticity in that process, right? So let me read the downloads one more time just for anyway. You may feel a zing in your body. You may hear a word that you've seen 4 times this week, or, you know, pay attention to the synchronicities. But I'm getting downloads coming in about how we are doing things. Primary focus of embodied energy, removal of distractions, streamline energy of focus, and a singular vision, a singular path. We must be able to eliminate multitasking as much as possible. Streamlines, I wrote in all caps, right? Writing, teaching, speaking, vibrational frequency. Vibrational frequency can be healing. It can be in your body. It can be making music. It can be being called to be led into meditation that is supported by vibrational frequencies. Any of these things could give you those, what were we writing? New keys. Because remember how we kept going back to in the water trines, the dissolution, right? But now there's new keys. But we have to be able to, I don't know, keys, unlock, lock in. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got to lock in. That's what it makes me think of. And then again, I wrote, we can do more than one thing. But just being attentive to achieving an embodied state while doing the thing and not doing all of the things at once, right? Okay, so those are the downloads. Y'all, what is oh yeah, I want to get out the cards and lay them out how we did once before. What do I feel called to? What do I feel called to? Hold on, guys. Let's do different. Let's do angelic light work. Let's do a crystal card. Let's do an essential oil card. But then I also, you know that we love, okay, so if you're into decks, tarot cards, oracle cards, I'll show you each one because it's always fun and you might see something that you like and it ends up being, let me move this, super helpful to you. So let's see. Let's start out with Elena or Alana Fairchild, any deck she has, I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's been amazing. If you're new, if you're a baby, if you're on the spiritual path and you're looking for resources, Alana Fairchild is really good for like creating an intentional meditation. Okay, Spirit wants us to do that one last because a lot of times I'll end up reading something to you that feels meditative and I want you to be able to sit with it. Where should we start, Spirit? Okay. We're going to start with Seasons of the Witch in Bulk Oracle. I love all of the Seasons of the Witch decks. Lorianne Anderson, I think most of them are illustrated by the same person, but it's Lorianne Anderson and Juliette Diaz. Okay, so these are always great. You don't have to even claim to be a witch. They're just very earth-based, and they move with the wheel of the year. When you connect with these decks, they're really awesome because they can align you back to that different type of calendar, which affects your frequency, your downloads, the way that your body flows. These are great. I keep this one out all year because I am a February Aquarius baby. I'm deeply connected with Imbolc. Okay, so it could be an important time for you at the Lunar New Year. I think that's happening. And we have an eclipse portal opening on February 17th. Imbolc season could be really big for some. Those dates could be big for you. Okay, so we're going to start out with Seasons of the Witch. But yeah, I always keep, it's very Aquarian Pisces. And I always have that out. I resonate with a lot of the art and a lot of the messages and the plant spirits that are in this oracle. So we're going to start here. And it's always the trick to do this because I end up having like so many decks sitting out everywhere and I don't know where to put them. But we're just going to, excuse me, we're just going to roll with it. I also feel led to pull a Cosmovisions Oracle card. Okay, this one's great. I think there's a Prismavisions Tarot deck too. It's equally amazing. So let's see what we have that speaks to us. Okay, is this one? Is going to be this one, right? Look, doesn't that look like walking? We were talking about passing the veil through Pluto. It's almost like crossing a bridge. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I know where my books are too, you guys. Let's pull a daily crystal. This one's a really good one too. This is great for just like super simple intentions. If you're not trying to get too deep or it's early in the morning, if you're more visually activated, this is a really nice one too. I think I got that one directly off of a crystal website that I enjoy. But I can't remember. Is it a Hay House? Yeah, you can probably get that off their website. Okay. Let's see what we have. And of course, over here, you guys, you know, we are always calling in our spirit team, both galactic and earthbound, our angels, ancestors, our spirit guides, the Davic nature earth spirits. We are always connected to energy, the support of the highest and best good and harming none. Intentions we set over here to manifest abundance, health, wealth, prosperity, healing, expansion, growth, all of those beautiful energies. That's what we call in over here. All right. Child, let me keep it organized. I'm going to have to move these. I hope you guys are enjoying entering into Aquarius season. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's see what the energy is that we're starting out with, you guys. We have, so get into the image, is giving very stellar gateway. It's giving very bridge crossing. Crossing the bridge makes me think of Chiron. It's giving like your light body leading you up to those new timelines, okay? It says, you come across a bridge. A strange breeze tosses specks of light around in the thick air. You notice a figure standing on the other side of the bridge. It looks like you or what you imagine yourself looking like. Interesting. But as you step forward, the space around you ripples like a mirage and manipulates your vision. Is this an illusion? Fragments of your past and future memories reflect onto the bridge and then vanish. That's the clearing, right? The figure that once was at the other end of the bridge is no longer there, and you find yourself in their place. Ooh. Very much bridging energy in this powerful Aquarius season already, isn't it? Because we're preparing to cross the bridge of Neptune shifting into Aries, which is huge. And I say that, I see this picture of a phoenix over here. Look at that. Okay. Let's see what we have from the Seasons of the Witch Imbolc Oracle. Oh, Look, it's your spirit team flying you across the bridge. Do you see her in the belly of the owl? Okay, not our owl spirits coming through. You guys know that's my familiar. The horned owl. Become the shadow that watches, keeping quiet while moving intentionally, not from the downloads. Removal of distractions, moving intentionally, okay? Staying quiet. The will to be silent, okay? If you know the rules of the Sphinx, check those out. There's 5 of them, okay? The will to be silent oftentimes is the hardest one to master, okay? Let's read that together. Number 26, the horned owl. Moving with stealth, keeping quiet, watching and learning. A horned owl makes no sound when she flies through the air, as she is a master at moving in silence, while also taking in everything around her. She is constantly watching, listening, and avoiding potential danger while seeking out her prey. This is something about like trusting a certain different level of a way of seeing things. This is giving me like pineal gland, the third eye being lit up. That's that light we were calling back to our lanterns, isn't it? This is giving a lot of spiritual guidance and protection as well. When pulling this card, your guidance is to remain silent when it comes to a question you have asked. There is nothing you can do or say that will change someone else's opinion, so it's best to leave people to their thoughts and go on your way. Instead, watch and learn about those around you. What can you observe about their behavior? Do their actions match their words? This card suggests that there are people who are only supporting you verbally, or their bark is way more than their bite. Okay, so maybe you're struggling with seeing a person clearly. This could be in connection to a relationship. This could be in connection to observing patterns, which is a huge Aquarius tendency and trait, right? Because we stand outside the box, because the energy and the frequency of Aquarius empowers one to be detached. And detached is not a negative thing. It's just, I am not white knuckling anything. I'm watching and observing, right? This card suggests that you may not be able to, let's go back and read. I guess, because this could be for someone. Do their actions match their words? This could be at a career. This could be you getting a spiritual nudge about it's time to release your attachments to something, someone, a place, a person, a situation. This could be confirmation for you. This card suggests that there are people who are only supporting you verbally, and their bark is way more than their bite. You may not be able to count on them when the time comes and you need them the most. That goes back to when you are streamlined and you have a singular focus and you are embodied in your awareness. I'm trying to tell you, prepare yourself by how clearly you will begin to see people. It's like removing the preconceived notions about people. That's also a part of reprogramming your mind. You get what I'm saying? What we say, we clocking it? Yeah. Additionally, this card guides you to keep your plans under lock and key. Not the keys again. Because some dreams and goals are too big for small-minded people, and their frequency will be sloughing off on your energy. And then that will start fucking with you being streamlined. That's like having a friend group, having a group at the water cooler. You always be chatting with them at the break table. Good people you go and check in with and hang out with, or people that you conversate with, maybe in your spirit tribe or soul group or whatever, right? Or toxic family members. Their energy has a way of dampening that streamlined vision you perhaps have been gifted about something or about a new direction that you're going to move. That's everybody don't need to be knowing your business. We literally just talked about the will to be silent, didn't we? Some goals are too big for small-minded people. Don't risk introducing doubt into your plans because of the opinions of people who don't have a vision to see value in your ideas. Matter of fact, sometimes it ain't no vision in there at all. And then picture us trying to share our beautiful visions. Do people have potential to have this level of visions? They absolutely do, but they ain't trying to have them. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be observant and be quiet. The will to be silent is big here. A big part of mindfulness and intention. What was I sharing with y'all? When spirit comes over me and I know that I have to get my frequential cleansing going on in my ears and cleanse those wavelengths, that can be frequency around your body and your energetic field. It can be intentional energy manipulation. Sometimes it's not intentional at all. People just are not self-aware of what they project onto others. Okay, that's important. When I was telling you how I used to have to go walk out on that path or put myself in a dark space, that's energetic clearing. That's spirit clocking some weird energy sometimes around you and helping you stay in alignment. Okay, so pay attention to that. All right, let's see. What do we have for our crystal? Ooh, I am really getting that we have to be protective of our energetic frequencies, because not shungite, detox your life. Some people I've known will have shungite like at their computer. I have a lot. I used to have a piece, but I do keep a lot of black tourmaline around. Maybe you are taking crystals to where you work. Black, especially black jet, black obsidian, silver sheen obsidian, black tourmaline comes to mind. Good smoky quartz. You already know this is my big hitter, Icelandic. This is my deep dark one. Ooh, we got to be mindful of these energetic connections that we are upholding. Protect your energy, okay? Detox your life. Being carried across that bridge. You ain't going to be able to cross a bridge with a bunch of weight on your back, though. You think this owl could pick her up if she was carrying a whole bunch of people with her, or people's expectations or projections? Yeah. This can be health detox as well, spiritual mental cleansing detox as well. The figure that once was at the other end of the bridge is no longer there, and you find yourself in their place. That's like levels of you shedding. This is us completing the year of the wood snake transformation too. Okay, let's read shungite. I opened the book right to black tourmaline. Did y'all see that? That's a message for some, absolutely. I know it's a message for me, and I know exactly what it's talking about too. Listen to your intuition when it comes to people and things you need to disconnect to, and respect that. Your ancestors are saying respect that. Okay? Detox your shungite, detox your life. Your mind, body, and spirit need a system reboot. Man, and I'm telling you, we were just talking about going into a dark room. Set the intention when you go into the room, when you meditate at night, when you listen to the frequency, the guided meditation, the light language, the song, when you're out in nature. Set the intention before you turn the lights down really low and get into that spiritual bath. And your ancestors will show you, but you need to be ready to honor that, okay? I know it's hard. Child, the stories we could share. I know it's hard. Your mind, body, and spirit need a system reboot. Without necessarily realizing it, dead ass, we were just talking about this. Without necessarily realizing it, we're affected by our environment and all the things in it. From the technology constantly at our fingertips, to the air we breathe, to the foods we eat, and to the health and beauty products we use. Okay, not me. I was just tapping in with my good friend P on a live, and we were talking about beauty. That's funny. Synchronicities. It's just another message. Pay attention to synchronicities. Yeah. How can you even focus on these things if you're connected and going in a million directions? Streamline, focus, routine. What are the patterns, right? Take a closer look at what you choose to surround yourself with and what you put on and in your body. There may be certain areas of your life that need simplifying. You cannot make it up. Take what you need from it and release what you don't. A virtual cleanse will help clear out the energetic sludge and get you back to feeling your best. Remember when I was showing y'all what I do with cleansing? What were we doing? Oh, a simmer pot? Yeah. I know a lot of people have been sick as well, so definitely have your essential oil blends on deck, have your teas on deck. Be so mindful about what you're consuming energetically through your eyes, through your ears, onto your body, and what you eat too, Spirit is saying, yeah. When do you feel foggy or drained? What are you exposed to during these times? Excuse me. How would you feel if you gave your system a break from these sources? A break. Silence. Y'all don't laugh. I'm hearing that song. What is it? Gangsters moving. Silence. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Silence. That's such a message today. Affirm, I nurture myself by giving my system what it needs and releasing what it does not. Today, while you eat, put down the technology and be mindful and present during your nourishing meal. And we were talking about the monks and washing the dishes and stuff too. Yes. Hold on, you guys. I feel called. Spirit wants to give us another crystal. Aren't these so pretty though? Like, just get into these. They feel so good. It's like a real nice gloss. Very good quality cards. I love a good card stock. You know what I'm talking about. All right, Spirit. What do we need to see? What other gemstones for my soul family today? What do we need to see? Excuse me, guys. Look, she almost gone, but that nagging ass little cough, she's still trying to hang on. That's all right, though. We're going to let our body do what she needs to do, okay? All right, what do we have? Sodalite, speak your truth. This clearing, this intentional clearing, streamline of alignment and focus. Again, that goes back to I was talking about speaking and writing. This could be a big confirmation for someone today. Let's read about sodalite. I put sodalite chipstones and custom candles and blends for people when they need help sleeping and resting, or they need to be able to calm their minds to meditate. Child, hold on. We're going to get there. Here we go. You have something to say. You have a powerful voice. Speak up. Allow your words to flow from your heart, ensuring that your communication is authentic to how you feel. This can be talking about someone that you need to get clear from. Not talking about, let me correct myself. Ooh, Spirit. Talking to. I'm seeing the Queen of Swords, so it can be like, you know, being very clear on what you will and will not accept and using that throat chakra, okay? Although it can be much easier said to let certain things go unsaid. Although it can be much easier to let certain things go unsaid, it's important. You know, because sometimes you got to clock somebody. Speaking of patterns and the will to be silent, I will say sometimes you have to let someone know, hey, that's not going to be okay here. Or sometimes you drop a nugget to just let a person or let a pattern or let a vibrational frequency known that I am peeping what's going on here, right? And that can be confirmation to the universe when you do that and you open your throat chakra. It's important to have difficult and even sometimes awkward conversations to express yourself and ask for what you really need. Articulating your thoughts and feelings to others allows them to understand and honor your truth. Through your clear, confident communication, others can hear what your heart is really saying. When do you need to speak up for yourself? Where are you not being honest with yourself and others? How would it feel to speak your truth? Now, there's two things here Spirit is saying to me. Notice, clock the pattern. I'm already going to tell you, I got a bunch of Aquarius placements. What we're going to do today is we're going to clock the pattern, okay? Notice how when you speak your truth, when you say no, when you set up a boundary physically, frequently, in communication, in a relationship, at a job, pay attention to what happens next. Please act accordingly. Please utilize your wisdom and discernment and exercise your divine authority. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. The second thing is Spirit is saying, do you notice the difference between the will to be silent about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and your gifted visions? That is very different. The will to be silent is not laying down and being a doormat and accepting anything and any old way of being treated or whatever. Spirit wants to clarify that's two very different things. You know what I'm saying? Okay. How would it feel to speak your truth? Now, let me tell you too, when you get real expert on your value and your self-worth and knowing what your boundaries are, what you will and won't accept, because you're clear on your streamline alignment, you're clear on your vision, you're clear on your long-term sustainability of your goals. You understand too, speaking your truth and say what needs to be said doesn't mean you get dragged down into arguing it over and explaining yourself either, okay? We're not begging for validation of what it is that I said what I said, and then we just leave it there too. That's a big emotional maturity moment, okay? It says, affirm, I communicate clearly and others listen to my truth. Today, speak your heart instead of your head. Okay. Let's also, there's blue spruce again. It's such a good card. Blue spruce. Okay, let's get an essential oil card. These are tricky to shuffle, but it's not really a deck that's made to be crazy shuffling. So, Spirit, what do we need to see? Oh, I see it. Peppermint is speaking to me, but peppermint is great for both Capricorn and Aquarius energy. This goes along too energetically with clearing. Child, I think, oh yeah, peppermint is something that I've been putting in like a lot of my oils and spiritual cleansing and dropping on my altar too for mental clarity, okay? So that's actually perfect that peppermint came out for us. Oh, I love these cards. If I haven't shown you before, these are called the Essential Oil cards by Dennis. Is it Moak? This is a great one. Very intentional, great to pull like once a week or once every new moon. There's a lot of beautiful stuff on the back to work with, and you can learn about working with oils as well. When the healing soul of the peppermint plant appears, it whispers, "Through me, you will be completely present." Do you see it? Spirit is speaking so clearly today. And haven't we manifested that? Through me, you will be completely present and entirely in the moment. Breathe in my fragrance so I can reach those places that we can open and illuminate together. What are you keeping hidden? Where do you hide yourself away? Do you see how this aligns with opening the throat chakra? Do you see how your spirit team is also showing you, though, that they're protecting you when you claim this for yourself? What are you keeping hidden? Where do you hide yourself away, supposedly to protect yourself? Everything that you are holding back, all of your impulses and desires, all of your talents and the limitless capacity for love you keep hidden are an indication of a part of you that is not being lived. Wow. Open yourself up. Get into that. Look at the image too. You know, when I had raised bed gardens, potted plant gardens, I had a lot smaller potted plant garden last year, but I did still have some. But peppermint along with basils, but peppermint mints I've always grown. Those are great for our air sign family, but they're great for pockets of energy like this year too, where we have a lot of air sign coming into the collective astrology. Okay, it says, heart opening. The more deeply and freely I breathe, the more I can open my heart. Then I can give and receive and I can be. So let's take a minute to talk about breath. A lot of downloads keep coming through, even in personal and one-on-one work, about box breathing. When I started my journey in therapy, it was alongside of when I met my apprenticeship teacher. And I had this huge realization. I was reading a book. I was going through all these spiritual dark nights of the soul. Child, I thought it was going to be the last one too. It wasn't. But the breath is a huge mental programming and reset point. You ever stop, especially if you've been through complex trauma and you have PTSD, CPTSD, whatever the case. Wait, we're going to finish reading this. Oftentimes you stop and realize, child, you are not even breathing in this moment. You just stop and breathe. Okay, because I guarantee you, number one, everything's going to be all right. Number two, I know your spirit team is protecting you. Number three, I know your higher self was waiting to connect with you, but you got to breathe, okay? Maybe you need to get an app or set a timer or a reminder throughout the day to take 5 minutes, to step away, to go sit in the bathroom stall, to take a moment to walk and go, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. That's a box breathing technique, okay? There's something about clearly breathing. That's also in a big connection with releasing the white knuckle grips. That's also in a big connection of detaching with compassion. Just breathe. Because what about this whole moment or this situation or this purpose or I'm sorry, this person or the moment in this anxiety? Can we stop for a minute and breathe? It does not have control over you, but you're giving it control over you. That's a message for someone. The healing plant soul of peppermint is insistent in its demands for greater clarity and presence. As you breathe in its fragrance, your chest expands and your heart opens, its power flowing out to the third eye, enabling you to realize your vision for your life. This is so in alignment with the downloads. Peppermint oil brings the gifts of focus and vigilance. When combined with lemon oil, peppermint can have enlightening and cleansing powers. Apply the diluted oils to the soles of your feet in the morning and inhale their scent between your cupped hands. Aspects of cleansing, presence, awakening, clarification, opening up the full range of opportunities. Deep breathing, detoxifying. Again, we have detox here in Shungite. And cooling, associated with the heart, throat chakras, and the third eye. You can also do like a steam for your breathing, where you kind of like drape a towel and you just hold your head down over like a pot and you inhale the steam. You can do a foot soak if you can't do a bath, but both of those are just go light on the peppermint. Some people have sensitive skin, and I don't know your skin, but those are really excellent for that type of work as well. And the peppermint and the lemon on the bottoms of the feet, please dilute accordingly and know your own skin. I have to say that, okay, because I'm not your personal practitioner. I mean, I could be. You're welcome to visit my website, but excellent detoxification. Peppermint tea is really, really good too. Is really good. All right, Spirit. So we're going to do an angelic light work card as well. You know, we do love a good Elena Fairchild over here, okay? I'm thinking about, I'm going to be getting into guided meditations, and these cards are so good. You could literally just read them and give people space to sit with the meditation. But I know that we all have different strengths, and some people struggle. Strengthening your visualization abilities in meditations or with sound or even guided meditations will change your whole life. So I encourage that. But I know that people benefit from being guided through meditation as well. These would really be such good cards, y'all, to just like read for people to hold space with for themselves. Her card's not really made to be shuffled like that either. Or at least I can't shuffle the bigger cards like that. Sometimes I feel like you can't be too rough with her cards either. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what we have, you guys. Oh, they're always so pretty. Honor thy worth. I'm telling you, I know you cannot make it up with the alignment of everything that we've already been talking about. Look, maybe you just want to look at this. Do you see the similarity here? Look at this. Do you see that? You're worth so much more than you give yourself credit for. I guarantee you that a lot of those programs that have been put into you, beat into you, traumatized into you, we could elaborate, but you get the point. Those are not meant to be for you long term, okay? Honor thy worth. This is giving very Venus and Aquarius, Mercury and Aquarius. Look at that. Okay. Let's go to the book. Now, look. The book has so much in there. Again, that's why I'm saying you could really make short like alignment and meditative clips just by reading these. Let's go to it though, and we'll decide what we read, because I know we're already at an hour. How in the hell has it been an hour, y'all, for real? Thank you so much for being here if you're still here. All right. Honor thy worth. Many beings wish to be granted the tremendous honor and opportunity of a precious human birth. Amongst the apparent polarities and tensions of spirit and flesh, light and dark, sacred and profane, rests the potential for embodied joyfulness, awakening beyond conditioning, and freedom grounded in loving peace. Archangel Uriel asks you to give up stories of unworthiness, shame, or guilt. That's the blackened version. That's the inverted dark matrix, the upside down, if you will, the Saturnian black box that's dying. We're rebirthing all of that, okay? So you don't want to stay attached to those stories. It is within the power of your heart to grant yourself the spiritual reprieve necessary to know true freedom and responsibility for your path. You have much within you that is of tremendous worth and can be shared simply, kindly, and daily. It could all be so simple, I'm hearing, but we rather make it hard, okay? Nah, for real, it is hard sometimes, but it can be really simple, right? You are worthy of so much. Recognize this, and receive. Healing magic and manifestation with Archangel Uriel. Y'all, it says literally cross the threshold into the sacred by closing your eyes, breathing deeply, and dropping into a peaceful, loving connection with your heart. When you feel connected to your heart, say out loud, Archangel Uriel, I am honored and open-hearted in your presence. I gratefully acknowledge the abundance, prosperity, sacred manifestation, and countless blessings that you bring for the greatest good of all. You support the embodiment of divine light. I am ready and willing to receive your healing and guidance to fulfill my inner potential for the spiritual benefit of all beings. I trust you to hold and protect the sacred space for healing according to divine will, so be it. So then she does this beautiful thing in this book where she guides you through a meditation. I'm telling you, we need to lock into some of those. Okay, let's read the prayer. Beloved Archangel Uriel, please help me release my attachment to feelings of being less than, unworthy, or undeserving. And I hope that we also ask to release attachments to people, places, things, the past, jobs, and definitions, or projected energy that other people have put. I hope that we pray to release that as well, whether it's prayer, meditation. You don't even have to resonate with religious views of archangel, high frequential vibration to tap into this, you see. These feelings are not true, nor do they help me attain my life purpose. I believed that they protected me from failure or that I wasn't good enough to be loved or respected, but I know within my heart that I no longer need that belief. With confidence and courage, I ask you to cleanse my heart gently and thoroughly with your beautiful golden light. I'm thinking about Steve Noble and his guided meditations where you circulate energy through your body. If you do connect with working with archangel frequencies, he has great guided meditations. I'm also thinking about working with the middle pillar of light meditation. You can find versions that are as simple or as in-depth if you'd like. That is an ancient higher magic type of practice, but do that meditation. I'm telling you, it will change your life when you start circulating the light frequency through your body, okay? Okay, with confidence and courage, I ask that you cleanse my heart gently and thoroughly with your beautiful golden light. I open myself to a new view and a fresh belief in myself and my destiny with your gentle and powerful presence with me always. May I attain that which my spirit needs for freedom, enlightenment, and peace, so be it. Sense that you are being held in a rotating ball of golden light, like a gentle washing cycle. It spins one way and then the other. It gently cleanses your body, mind, and soul. You can rest or even rock gently from side to side. This would be great in the water, you guys. Allowing yourself to soften and surrender into this process. And once it stills, you know that you are cleansed and ready. Wow. Yeah, we should do a series with these as guided meditations for real. But do you see how the cleansing of the light is in alignment with everything else? All right, guys, this is the message that I have for today. I hope you enjoy the entrance into Aquarius season and you're doing your spiritual hygiene routines and don't forget the downloads, okay? The streamline of the focused energy. All right. So until we check in together next time, I look forward to talking to you soon, okay? Take good care. Love you. Bye.